All right, another week, another episode. I would like to start this episode by saying the reason that I didn't really post anything last week was because I didn't really do anything. Let's see what happened last week. I think I might have watched some movies. So really nothing to share there. But this week has been a little bit more interesting. So to start off, I just kind of want to give a shout out. Being in China, it's can be a little bit difficult at times, and it's always good to know that you have someone back home that's rooting for you and is hoping to see you succeed. So, just a little story on the side. My mom had said that she was sending me a care package with some things that I'd asked for inside it, and I was really excited. So I went to the Chinese post office to pick up or check, because they hadn't sent me a text or anything to tell me that the package had gotten there. And I pick up the package, it was there, and I'm super excited because, American food, and I asked for 2 boxes of waffle crisp, which is my favorite cereal. Waffle crisp. So I open up the box and I'm digging through, and I see she also packed some 4 crispy bars, big ones that we sell at Quick Trips. So shout out to Quick Trip for those awesome, delicious crispy bars that they sell. And 2 boxes of the cinnamon or the waffle crisp, which is my favorite cereal. And then what else is there? Oh yeah. And there was a box of Sour Patch Kids, a box of Whoppers, and a box of Milk Duds. No, the Milk Duds, everyone knows the story behind Milk Duds. They're a good candy, they taste good, but dang if they don't get stuck in your teeth. But I still appreciate that. So I looked a little further, and I noticed that there was some little playbooks, like activity books for children. And I looked down, and lo and behold, guess what it is? It's an activity book for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. So I was excited about that. I was like, oh, that's cool. She knows that I'm, going to be doing some Star Wars related things, and she's kind of getting me excited. So I was like, all right. So I was digging a little bit further into the box, and I see a face look up at me, and I'm like, no way. Now I want to remind you, I'm sitting in the middle of a courtyard on the campus of the school. There's only Chinese students around me. There's no one probably that speaks any fluent English that would understand. But I look in deeper to the box. I pull back 2 of the crispy bars, and I see this black face staring back up at me. And I'm like, no way, that can't be. And it was. If you see this right here, this is Finn from the new Star Wars movie. And she had bought an action figure for me. And I'm not really one into action figures, but this one meant something, because this is this is important to me, because this is the first main character that is black that will be focused on in Star Wars, so it's a big deal to me. And he just seems like a really cool character, and to have a Finn action figure is really cool. And not to mention, the reason that's also cool is because what's going to be happening is on December 17th, me and the 2 other teachers that I'm working with here are going to actually be heading down to Hong Kong to go see Star Wars The Force Awakening on the day that it releases in America. So on the 18th, me and my 2 other co-workers are going down to Hong Kong to see The Force Awakens. We already have our movie tickets, we have our plane tickets, we have our hostel already booked. So my mom just knew that, I was doing all the Star Wars stuff, and she got me this Finn doll, and it's a really cool looking doll, and his face looks good, and he's got the blaster, and so it's just a really cool gift. And I freaked out when I was in the courtyard. I was just like, oh my gosh, no way, no freaking way. And I was just super excited, because that was really cool. It just shows how much my mom gets me and knows what makes me happy and what I enjoy in life. So that was really cool. So I just wanted to give a shout out to my mom and talk about that story a little bit. as a segue, I talked about going to Star Wars: The Force Awakens. So um, everyone in our every one of my coworkers is really a big Star Wars fan, so we're all really excited to be going. And one of my coworkers, it was about a month ago, posted this on my apartment door. So everyone's really excited. And just because we're Star Wars fans and we, you know, I mean, you want to go that extra step, we've also bought costumes. So I mean, if you follow me on, or if you're on my Facebook, you've seen my Star Wars costume. I have a Jedi robe, and hopefully, I don't know because of, shipping and whatnot, but I also have a lightsaber on the way here. So yeah, Star Wars: Force Awakens. Looking forward to it. It is next week that we are going, and I will probably try to. We don't get back till Monday at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and I have a class at 8, so that'll be difficult. But after that class is done, I'm going to try to do a blog post talking about what I thought about the movie, how the trip was, and all the things we do. And I'll try to. I'm going to try to start releasing videos that I've taken here in China, just so you guys can see what's going on here. I don't have very much editing software, so I can't put together a video, but I can just release the different files, or maybe I'll try to get a program to start editing. But yeah, so I'll try to keep that. Alright. So the last thing, the title of this episode today deals with an event that took place this weekend. So, last week, the week before, I get a message from one of my students. She says, "Micah, would you be interested in coming to a dance party?" And she said, "Would you be interested in dancing at a party?" And I thought, oh, dance party, that's fun. I like dancing, and these guys don't really have that many dance parties. Oh, it's really cool. I'm excited. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you know what? I think I might be able to do that. So I shouldn't realize when she said dance party that there was something a little bit dubious about it, because Chinese people don't dance. It's just not something they seem to mostly be able to do. So anyway, I go and I talk to some of my coworkers, and I'm like, "Yeah, did you guys get invited to this dance party?" And they're like, "Oh, they said dance party? What they actually mean is a competition." And I was like, "Wait, what?" So this has actually happened before. We've been invited to a freshman party or a sophomore party or a school party. They use the word party, but what they actually mean is kind of like a competition or a talent show of sorts, where they'll have a bunch of different acts come through, and they will sing or they will dance. Some people have done skits. So that's what they mean when they say party. As a teacher, I think it's my job. I should probably teach a lesson on just what the difference between a party and a competition or show is. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I'm like, I don't really want to be the only one. So I was like, I called back my student and I said, "Well, I didn't know what you meant when you said party. Is it okay if I talk to my other fellow coworkers and we get back to you?" And she's like, "Yeah, that's fine." So I talked to my other coworkers, and I was like, "Ooh, we could do something. Maybe in the vein of Star Wars coming out, we could all dress up in our Jedi robes and fight with lightsabers or something." Unfortunately, we got some more news. Apparently, this was the week of the 1st, which was the 1st was on Tuesday. They had told us that they had been told on the 30th of November that there was this competition happening, which was actually, it's called the January, it's a January party, or the New Year's party, they call it. It's New Year's competition. So we thought it was going to be on the 27th. She calls us and tells one of my coworkers that actually the party is on the 27th of December, but we have to do our acts in front of the administration on the 5th, which is that week of the 1st that we're into right now. She's told us on the 1st we have about 4 days to prepare. So I'm like, oh crap, we can't choreograph a fight scene in 4 days. And then my coworker tells me, well, I'm setting something up with some students. And I'm like, okay. I was like, well, they did say that they wanted me to dance, and I guess I can try something like that. So I decided to pick a song, Chris Brown's Yeah, 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 or Yeah, 3X. Because I've danced to that song before, I kind of get some of the movements, and I've watched the music video and seen some of the moves he does during the video, so I thought that'd be an easy enough dance routine to do, improvise some things throughout. Another bit of information relayed to us on the, initial acts were going to be done on the 5th. So on the 4th, I find out that it's actually a judged competition. The officials aren't there just to watch, they're there to judge. And they'll let certain acts go through to the New Year's Day party, or competition, or whatever you want to call it. Which no one had told us, they just told us it was they started telling us that it was a party, and then they told us that it was, then we found out it was a competition. And, not even, we just thought it was a dance act. We thought people were going to, do another kind of fun little dance act thing. And then we find out the day before that it's a competition. So I'm like, whatever. So I dress up nicely and I practice the moves for an hour. Nothing too in-depth, and only an hour's worth of practice for the routine that I'm about to do. So we go on stage, and we're like, okay, when do we go on? And we're like, well, we don't really know. This is mostly all run by students. There's really no faculty helping out. They're just there to judge. So the students are running everything, and it shows. And I don't mean that to be mean. I'm just saying it shows that it was run by the students. And I don't mean to be mean when I say this either, but it also has that air of Chinese disorganization. Everybody's running one around back and forth, and there's really no straight answer. A good example of this is one of my other coworkers. I gave him my DSLR camera to shoot video of us doing our acts. And he went over to get positioned in a spot where he thought he'd get the best vantage angle. And he went to sit down, and someone came up to him and said, you can't sit here. And he's like, where can I sit? And he's like, well, you can maybe sit over here. And he's like, so I can sit over there? And he's like, well, no, maybe you can. So one of the favorite words that the Chinese people use when they're using English with us is maybe. The girls that we were trying to ask what our position is, they said, well, maybe we will go next. Maybe. So it's an indefinite term that they like to use a lot, which can be frustrating. But let me say it, I'm not dissing, I'm just telling you, I'm relaying the information. But anyway, so we're sitting in the back there. There really is no backstage. It's like you have their stage, and then there's a wall, and then the building's done, and it's outside. So there's only 2 wings on either side, which are hallways, and that's pretty much the backstage. There's a little wing on each side of the stage, but there's not a lot of room, and you have like a bunch of Chinese kids moving through and back and forth and watching the acts from there, so not a place you want to stay. But anyway, so I did my dance number. I personally, upon watching it wasn't so bad. There was one move that I did that I thought to myself, oh, that looked like complete crap, but so we did the dance number and it went on okay. So we don't even know if we're gonna move on to the next level or anything. I guess we're gonna just wait and see if a student tells us or not. But so yeah, that was our weekend. Hey, would you like to come to a party? A final grade will be assigned to you at the end, or a final score will be assigned to you at the end. So yeah. So until next time, Uh, I'll see you later.